how to overcome any problem or any issue instantly. That is what today's class is. And this class is extremely important. If you can follow this, trust me, you can come out of that, of any issue in your life like that. So, is that really a thing? Is that something? Because everybody says that you cannot come out of the karma, right? You cannot overcome the karma. But today I'm going to teach you that there are ways in the universe, in Vedas, everywhere they have been taught that there is a way where you can come out of any issue, any problem, any karma, any adharma we did in the past. So, what are those rules? There are certain rules in the eyes of God. There are some rules. Whether you talk these rules in any culture, yes, these rules will apply, and they all agree. Yes, if you do this, your karma will nullify. So those are the things. What we did is in Way to Moksha, we put together and made it as an instant powerful tool that is called 4P. So I'm going to explain you what exactly, if you're with the examples, if you're going through something, okay? So if I am going through an issue with the husband or wife, spouse, a lot of times there are husbands also victims, or wives the victims too, or the children are victims. So when I'm a childhood, if I had a trauma, or when I got married, I had a trauma with the loss or husband. How do we exactly overcome those? Generally, what a common woman or men does it, mostly women I'm talking, because this is a tendency of the woman, not the man. I'll again say what the men does. Okay, so what the woman does is they will do the pity party. Do you know what is pity party? Pity party means they go and tell another 10 people or 100 people that I'm going through this mess in my house. And no one goes through what I'm going through. This is another sentence they say, because I hear in the counseling, this is what they say: no one is going through what I'm going through, and God is not justifying my why I got this issue, right? Because I went through in my childhood, I went with the husband, I'm going through with the in-laws. This is not fair. Or some people had a great childhood, but at the in-laws they're having trauma. So, oh, my daughter is the only one having this trauma. They're wrong people, they're bad people. I told her to come out of the marriage. This is so easiest thing to do. Any parents I have seen, they ask the child to come out of that marriage. That's absolutely no, no. We can always work with any marriage, any issue, you can come out of it, but you need to work with that. You can't just escape like that, or you can't do things instantly what someone says, and those are not the remedies. Anything you do physically means externally, those are all will give you a reverse effect. Like when you put the ball on the wall, how it comes and hits you, it is going to hit you on your face. When you do something, think that is a solution externally, that's going to hit you, that ball is going to hit you back. So I'm going to tell you something, with this psychology of a woman, where who does a pity party, they go and get the sympathized of their victim, victimism, you can say. So I am victim, right? So I go tell 10 people and everyone's, oh, you had this issue, I'm so sorry, let me know if I can do something. What they can do? They won't do anything to you. Or they will say, oh, go, and if he's hitting you, go hit. Or if he's shouting, you should shout. Shout even more stronger. Or put the TV on the floor or do something. Then you'll be afraid. Are these are the solutions? You really think? Or don't talk anything, sit quiet. Like that, people will give you so many solutions. Are they the solutions? Do you think they are the solutions and they are going to um, do something in your life, or that is going to bring your family or marriage life fruitful? Not really. They're going to make even more worst. So always remember to do in a universal level what the universe is doing, why it is giving you, and go from the back end. So if there is a bug, right? You, if you go and click this, it gets first. It's going to occupy everything. That bug is going to occupy every file of yours if you're opening everything. But if you're going the back end and delete the bug, it's gone, right? Your computer is like again runs so smoothly and perfectly. So every time you come up with a solution, you go back end. What is the back end? Okay, the guys, what the guys do if they are in serious trouble, they try to hug the liquor, drinking, or they go to the friends and they don't talk too much about that they're going through a problem. They don't communicate, they don't go to their friends and say, oh, my wife is doing this or my children is doing this, they're shouting at me. No, they don't do that. Maybe that is a ego issue or what, but very few men, maybe one personal friend since a childhood, or if that childhood continues to be a friend, maybe he'll go and tell. But in generally, when they go as a friends, and they go drink maybe one peg more, so they don't show that. That is the men mentality in generally I'm talking about. I'm not saying 100% of the men they do that, but 100% of I mean 99% of the women, they go for pity party. They, oh, I have this issue, I have this bleeding, I have this. So they want the sympathy from everybody. They I don't know what they get with that sympathy. For me, that is the last thing. I would not exhibit my things to everybody saying that I have this is this issue. Because why I don't do that? Because every time you're talking about it, not only your nervous system is going to go down, your whole cells and everything are going to fall like this. That and your body is going to believe that I'm in trouble, I am abused, or I'm not happy, right? So every time, whenever you talk about it and you tell your body, automatically all your cells will shrink, and also your um, the atmasthiti, the soul power will go down. So whenever you really want to be up in as a happiness, or the your soul light has to go up, never go down. Actually, never cry in your life. Oh, that is an emotion, it is automatically comes because when something happens, how can you stay not crying? Some people ask me this question. I say, what you're getting by crying? If you have to be enough strong where that will not hit you, that will not shrink you in your life. That should not shrink you, because that's not you need to practice. That is not an answer. Crying is not an answer. Crying will not do anything. With the crying, what happens? You are attracting negativity in your life, and negative forces or the um, energies will attack you. That is a different subject, but that is what going to happen you, and you shrink even more and more and more. I heard people, they cry whole night. What is that, crying whole night? I mean, what you're achieving by doing that, right? So is someone coming and helping you because you're crying and the situation is going to get better? If that gets better, if some people, if they are, when a woman, maybe wife or children cries, they get like, okay, 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 baby, I'll give you that toy, you're crying, right? So that is why we are encouraging children that to cry. If you don't give them, okay, if you're crying, you cry until you want to cry. When you're done with your emotion, come to me, we'll do this something together, right? Otherwise, if you're, oh, in the 10 people in all this cloud, she's crying, I have to give her the toy. That's it. Whenever you do that, she's going to cry instantly. The baby is going to be like, okay, and she starts. And then sometimes you don't even see the tears in them, because that's an use That's their used to be crying, so they cry. And when they're growing, that will continue. So after marriage also they'll do the same thing to get the attention of a person. Sometimes they might not get from the husband. They might get from the husband. If they're getting, that's great. It is working with their cry, that whatever that creating cry. But some people emotionally they go deeper, and then they feel he doesn't care me, she doesn't care me, and then they go deeper and deeper cry. That cry I'm talking about, don't cry that one. That's like puts your soul, whatever you learned, and 5 years of your shakti goes down. So then what do? You just a minute, take a deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, and think a minute. Okay, I got this hit. How do I come out of it? And I want to be strong. I'm a woman. I'm the Adi Shakti. They do all these mantras, 3 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, all these. Why you doing all that if you're not even getting a Shakti to not to cry? If you can't even be strong, then what is the use of your reading all those mantras? Mantras has so much of power, friends. It has so much of deep meaning. If you don't know the meaning, don't read the mantras. If you're not getting you are not able to take the power of the from the mantras, don't even read the mantras. It's waste of your time. So okay, come to the point. Because I said I'll give you a simple tricks, simple thing, because I want you to follow all these, not crying, to be strong, and also seeing what exactly happened. All these things are base. That's why I'm talking about it. It's not that I'm wasting your time, okay? So every second, whatever I talk, it makes sense. And also, you need to work with your life. Otherwise, it's harder for you to implement these tools if at all you are using the previous things, whatever you're doing. No, you have to come into my page if you want to get the results. So, number one thing, no going that pity party, okay? Like telling everybody that this is what happened to me. No, you tell the opposite thing to everyone. My husband loves me, I'm having such a fun in my life, and I'm having luxurious life. All these things you have to say just to get what you want. So you just talk what you want, because that's what universe is hearing. That's what will give you. That is what you want, instead of the pity party words, instead of the sorrow words, instead of the problem words. So don't use the word problem. It is something, a issue in our thing. It's like a challenge we got. So that challenge we have to put it with, see how the Arjuna, when when they're learning, right, the arrow thing. So when one arrow comes, they put another arrow to nullify that arrow, right? When one arrow is coming, if that arrow is something Chandra arrow, so they do another arrow with the Surya arrow, whatever the opposite to that, where this arrow is more stronger than that arrow. So when they both go like that, they disappear, or this will win and go further, right? That is what they teach. That's what you should do in your life too. When something happens as the thing, not externally, not physically, I'm talking about, we should go deeper into the issue. What exactly happened? What I spoke. Do you any time went back when you argued with someone? What exactly happened there? What exactly you spoke, or what the other person said, and what the conclusion? Why you have issue now? So, did you ever thought you should always go back, close your eyes, and go home, or whatever that evening or that morning, if not night happened? Think about it. Just close your eyes and think about it. What exactly I said or I did? Am I really, really? Is that really something? Was I triggered that? That's it. The minute you realize whatever that because of this happened, so you can, that is externally, I'm talking. You can next time be careful not going into those, the triggering points with the whatever, with the child or a husband, right? Okay, now we'll talk about spiritual side, what the Vedas say if we are in big trouble also. Something, health issue, until now we're talking about divorce and the wife and husband issue, right? So let's talk about wife and husband issue. Maybe tomorrow I'll talk on the health, and day after tomorrow I'll talk on the money. So each day I can give with the examples, and I don't want to expand too much of the class. So I like to do 15 to 20-minute class. That way it's more interesting. So let's do husband wife. So when a spouse, I would say spouse, you can imagine, if you want, if you're a husband or a wife, you imagine that. And if you're facing an issue, you imagine the other person is that spouse. Okay. So when a spouse, A and B, right? A is husband or B is wife, or in the couple one is spouse, the B is the spouse. Whether it is husband or wife does not matter, because the issue is an issue. So B is making little more money than A. Especially the B should be female, right? So when the B, this I see that 90% of the times, I don't want to say the profession, but I have seen when they are arguing and fighting with the high pitch of voice, the wife is making more money than husband. So that has the ego issues. So husband wants to show his ego, show his manly, and he raises his voice saying that, okay, you make more money, you're raising, I can raise even more. And he might even raise his hand also because of that issue. So if you do not show that ego that you're making more money, some people say, oh, I'm equally the 50%. 50% never works here. Whoever is more powerful as a physic wise, they think they are more superior. Does not matter whether you make more money or less money. So that is the reason, since yugas, men is being powered on the women, and children, the women and the men are powered on the children, because children are less powerful than us, right? So we show our anger on the children. That is commonly happening also. So not every case or not every family I'm talking about. In general example, I'm saying. So when there is a argue starts, or when something starts, if you can, every time, and wife is abusive on the man, for example, okay, this is better because we have lots of men client men who are watching this, and they would like to hear that. So the first thing, when someone is shouting at you, the first thing, the most important thing is you say that, okay, once upon a time in one of the lives, I did 4 times more to to that person, whoever that person is, the person B or C, does not matter. So that person I have given 4 times more pain, physically, mentally, all that, right? Here I'm getting only 20%. For 20%, I'm so, like, I feel I cry, I'm depressed, or I hate it. What about the 3 times more who got like 100%? What I did to them, is that true? My son will say, that's bullshit, mommy, what you're talking about in the past life, like once upon a time you did, and now you're saying sorry to that. How, what is that? So if you don't believe, that is fine. Even if you don't believe, but when I told him this is what we give the consultation, he liked the idea. He said that will work. Means what I'm saying will work. Whether you really did it or not in the past, that's another issue. That is another thing. But if you believe that you did it, and if you're asking in the dream, they're showing that you did it related to the same issue. So one guy told me that, he is having really hard time with the wife. He really can't even come back home. Like I said, he goes with the friends and comes back a little late, and then she's already pissing you off. She's already fighting with you. And then is she going to keep quiet if you come 10 o'clock in the night after a little bit drink? No, she's going to make it more worse, right? So he's having this issue at home, and he's having a nightmare, and also he lost money, and he also loses money in the place cards or this and that. He has issues. He says as that, because of the wife trauma, I'm doing all this to get, to get back to my whatever fun, right? Okay, that we will, okay, we'll say, okay, poor guy, he can do all that because he's, having trauma at home, right? So he's going and having good time. That's okay. If I'm not saying okay, but if you put that as that is what his explanation is. So I told him, okay, ask in the dream why you are facing this, whatever you are facing. Then he asked in the dream, he got a beautiful dream. In the dream, they clearly showed him as he was the husband in that life also. And he's nicely drinking, coming, hitting the wife, and he's really abusing mentally and physically. He was even abusing to have to sleep with her and also to whatever he wants. He's abusing her to cook and do all that stuff. So when that all those things were he was like he was doing all that like very 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 nonsense. So when he saw that, he woke up with the fear, because the guy is doing and here guy is getting it. The woman is doing all that violence, may not be that violence, like I said, 20%. She's doing definitely 20% on him, but here what he's doing, instead of facing, he's trying to escape from it. So when he saw that, the immediately he realized, okay, the drinking habit when I was doing on other lives, now also I'm doing, which is okay, I didn't come out of that. One thing. Second thing is, um, I'm facing what I did, and I better face it and release it, right? Otherwise, you're adding more and more. So he started saying whenever he stopped going to the friends, stayed back home, stopped drinking and stopped playing. Just one dream changed so he changed so much. But he didn't tell the wife that he's following way to moksha and also he got this dream, all that. You don't need to tell the spouse. That spouse has nothing to do with this. But that spouse is your once upon a time home you was abused. That's not your spouse right now. This spouse is your soul friend who accepted to allow your karma to release. So she came and giving you this whatever it is, so automatic, so that he can release that. Here what he's doing is not allowing to release, he's escaping right from the karma. So now he stayed back in the house, and whenever she's, gulugudu, you say, right? They constantly say, you don't every day stay at home, you drink, you play cards, you lose money, you don't make money, all this, like they say, jab, 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 right? Most of the women do that. That's our janma hakku, I can say that. So we all do that. So when she was saying that, also he was constantly saying, what you're saying and doing, giving me is nothing for what I did. And I'm extremely sorry the abuse I did to you. I am so sorry. And he was started saying thank you to wife within himself, not outside. He was not saying all that to the wife. He was saying within himself, thank you for, only saying that much, like not abusing me the way I abused someone else. And you're so nice to me and you're so gentle to me. And thank you, universe, for taking me as your child and giving me very little of what I did in the past. That's it. The minute he said that, the minute he started saying sorry, thank you, and also started doing 4P, the minute he got the dream, that's it. He got it. Okay. And then he started doing 4P. When he was getting even more and more dreams, not in one life he did that. He also cheated women. He got 3 to 4 dreams, cheating women and also abusing women and also raping women. All those means this is sometime like, when we were in Sai Satmas in the beginning lives. Now we had like hundreds of lives. So we were improving, getting better, and we are nicer people now. Now we help others. See, but that when we did at that time, those little by little we are taking and using it, and now we are facing those to learn something. So what he's learning with this in this life, to say sorry and thank you. And also he was saying thank you for what he has a lot in his life. And that's it, he was focusing more on his job. He was started getting more with the 4P, slowly that nullified. The wife started being very nice, and he got a promotion in the job. He got more money, and the wife is super happy with him. And he's still in way to moksha, and the wife also started in way to moksha because he slowly told all the story to her. This is what happened. This is how I changed my life, and the dream. So she was also asking the dreams, and she also removing all her adharma karmas, and slowly, and he was continued to ask the dreams, and he was continued to get the dreams. He had snake karmas, and then all those, because he had a little bit of ear issue also. So with the snake karmas, the minute he released, actually what happened when he released the snake karma, this is so interesting. He Someone told him, why don't you clean your ears? Ear wax might be there sometimes. Because of the ear wax, you can't hear things. This is after he released the snake karma. He went to the doctor. He got the he put some they put some liquid, and then they liquidify everything, bring everything out. That's it. He started listening the ear so good. Means the solution, you get that. Sometimes they say there are no medicines, but once you release the karma, either you get the medicine or the disease automatically releases, goes. So when we do healing, right, when they come to the retreats, or nowadays we're doing healing one-on-one on the online also. Any one person wants, and 25 volunteers, we stay around them. They're in a sleeping position, and we do the healing. So it is happening. So anything, whether it is a financial or husband wife relation, or the money issue. The next one is the relation issue, wife and husband. If they are even getting into divorce, all that, we can heal that. So that in 1 to 3 treatments, it is happening, it is healing. But what about the karma? That's why we are behind them, to release their karma. So once you release the karma, once you release this, once you are healed and you're behaving good and you're saying sorry and thank you, doing 4P, and also you ask her the dream. And in the dream, whomever you saw, you're saying continuously sorry, and you feel that you did wrong and you're extremely sorry for what you did, automatically your karma will nullify. So automatically it releases. So this is the story for today's. And tomorrow we are going to come up with another story on the, we'll talk about today we spoke about a husband wife. Tomorrow we'll talk about the money or health. Maybe we'll talk about the health. And then day after tomorrow we'll talk about the money. I'm going to tell with the examples how to release it. Money, sometimes you have given money to someone, or you have taken money from someone, or you're not getting job, or H1. All these can be nullified. All these can be seen results. We have seen so many people who are on who don't have H1, they got H1, and they got jobs even at this point. Some of them, they're on student, they're done studying, so they have the work permit on from the education, so they got the jobs. Who are in Vit Moksha, because they are doing the seva and they're doing 4P, they are releasing their karmas, automatically you get the job. All you need is one job. One job will be there in on the universe will give you. So don't worry about it. So the more you're insecure, the more you cry of things of what you don't have and what you're going through, that will become even more worst and worst and worst, because you came to learn to say sorry, to rectify it, not going deeper into it. When you go deeper, it will dig you even more deeper, because you didn't learn.